Nessa girl, I know I'm blowing your phone up today, but just bear with me, child. Your billing cycle should have restarted sometime this week or the next couple of days anyway. Listen, Heavenly about to fuck up all the church's money, okay? And my hair is laid like the Dora Milaje. You know, I was in Wakanda this weekend, and I figured since this episode of Married to Medicine had everybody about to fight, I think I'd pay homage to them warriors, honey, and give y'all the real tea. So listen, before we get down to this messy ass question and answer session that Heavenly tried to put together, let's pick up where they left off. The fight with Quad. Now listen, I feel two kinds of ways about Simone and her pedestal comments. I do feel like Quad gets different treatment than some of the other people. I really do. And I think it's a combination because she's the most sensitive, the youngest, and quite frankly, the most annoying. Like when it comes to issues, Quad will call the dog shit out of your phone and wear you the hell out and try to wear you down to see things her way. So I think with the ladies, a lot of them are just like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with it because unlike everybody else, they take their licking and keep on ticking. Quad will dwell and make a production out of it, and they just like, girl, since she can't go sit her ass down somewhere, we just not gonna say nothing. I do believe that. I've experienced it. The only thing that I find fucked up about them feeling like Quad is on a pedestal is the simple fact that y'all didn't feel no kind of way when y'all first met the girl and was calling her ghetto and looking down on her and wouldn't speak and trying to haze her to be a part of that group. So yeah, bitch, you hoes treated me like I was the trashy best friend that's ghetto from Memphis that don't know nothing. And yeah, now I'm somewhat fabulous now. Now I will say this, and Jackie ain't goddamn lying. Quad is always late. Miss Quad don't know how to be on time to nothing. And I'm gonna tell you something. I had another friend, my friend Vivian. Vivian the same damn way. I don't give a shit if she get mad. Vivian Moma. Vivian ass cannot be on time to nothing. Okay? And much like with Quan and with Vivian, I used to take it personal because I receive it as a, you don't care about my feelings, you don't care about my time, I'm irrelevant. What you doing, what you got going on is far more important than the fact that I'm waiting on you. What I've had to come to learn is take my emotions out of it. The shit ain't got nothing to do with me. The hoes just late. It ain't that they think less of me or my time. That's they stuff. Okay? And I stopped getting mad about it. You just playing accordingly, bitch. Don't ride with Quad nowhere if you trying to get somewhere on time. And don't have no program and hold your program up if you waiting on Quad, because it ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how you have to look at that. Alright, y'all, so let's get down to the good stuff. What did y'all think about Heavenly's questions? Now I'm gonna tell you something. Normally I'm not double-minded, right? Like, one of my biggest personality assets is that I am very decisive and definitive. On one token, I appreciate and I understand what Heavenly was trying to do. On the other token, I felt as if she shouldn't have did that. Like, at the end of the day, I'm leaning towards Heavenly was being more messy intentionally than she was being helpful. It ain't about what you say, it's about how you say it, but bitch. One thing I appreciate is Heavenly asked the goddamn questions that people really want to know. And quite frankly, she asked, I think, the right questions to solicit the type of response that each spouse needs to hear. I think where she went wrong is that people do not feel comfortable being that vulnerable in front of people and in front of cameras. And quite frankly, it's embarrassing. Like, you are asking people to divulge their most vulnerable, embarrassing business. And I'm going to tell you something though. The only question that I think what would have been helpful was the question that Heavenly told Jackie to ask Curtis. Let me tell you one thing about me, baby. Now, none of my men ain't ever cheated on me, but from the other women who I know who men cheat on them, they always say, what does she have that I didn't? Even Beyonce said it, but me, no, baby. See, me, if I had the goodness, men don't leave me, baby. Me for leave all my men. Nonetheless, I really do think that question, it wouldn't have helped Jackie, but it would have provided her with some level of healing. You know what I'm saying? Had Curtis had said, you know, she was there to listen to me. She made me feel smart. She was there to caress me. All the things that we've been through. All the things that Jackie won't do. I hate how Curtis dodged the question. Curtis is giving me this tea. He's so caught up in his ego that he can't play along. And I'm sorry, Curtis, you ain't back in there with Jackie good enough yet to be determined at what you will and ain't gonna do. 6 more months, Curtis gonna be completely out the doghouse and back to his bullshit. I see it in him. Jackie breaking down, and it's funny because you never want to wish for somebody to break down, but goddamn, it did feel good to see her drop all that composure shit and just fucking be a human being. Like, this is what the hell people wanted to see. And I got a question. At first I thought that Jackie was so classy based and well put together because she was so polished and perfect. But is all that polish and perfectionism, is that an overcompensation for an esteem issue? And I'm asking, I'm not confirming that upon her, I'm asking. Because for the level of crying that Jackie was over there doing, like, that ain't no new pain. That's some pre-existing pain. And so it's like, why does Jackie and people like Jackie feel it so prudent to be perfect? Like, I find beauty in being imperfect. I find beauty in being flawed. I find beauty in fucking up sometimes and letting the world know, you know what, yeah, I done fucked up and what? But I'm able to take it because I've got the confidence and quite frankly don't give a shit about what the fuck other bitches think. I always side-eye people who are so caught up in what other people think of them. And as much as I respect Jackie and look up to her in that regard, I'm starting to think that all that perfectionism is armor for a vulnerable little girl somewhere in there. I don't know. You know, when I went to Florida State University and got my degree in economics, they didn't teach me nothing about psychology and people esteem. But that's just what I see in Jackie. Heavenly asked Toya asked the shit that people want to know. Toya, let's face it, with you and Eugene and with Quad and Greg, there does look like some incompatibility issues, and it looked like there's a whole lot of monetary and material gain to be had by the women in those relationships. I'm not saying it's true. That's what the shit looks like from the outside world. Toya, it do look like that. So for you, you got all offended and whatnot, and then, hell, it seemed like your husband really don't give a shit because it feel like y'all both feel even about one another. You over there spending up the money and he doing whatever he like to do in his life because he ain't even pressed about fucking you. Like most men be pressed about fucking their wives. And Toya, you pretty. And he don't even want to fuck you. And to be quite honest, Toya, I don't even think your ass really care just as long as you able to go shopping. I'm not saying it's true, but the same thing with Quad and Dr. G. Like from the outside world, it looks like it was a come up for both of y'all. It did. I'm not trying to push no narrative. I'm not trying to say it's true. Okay? I'm just looking at the TV screen and I applaud Jackie for taking Heavenly's or explaining Heavenly's position in saying that I think Heavenly is asking the questions that people outside of our marriages would ask. Yes! Okay? And if you offended by it, get the fuck off of TV. You know what I'm saying? Eugene, Toya does disrespect you. Okay? By a traditional person's standards. Now, it may not bother you, Eugene. You may be used to it. You may be somebody like me that kind of stuff don't bother me. But when Toya tells you to shut up and eat a biscuit, or she talks down to you, and she talks to you in a condescending manner, Eugene, you have to see that. You have to see that. The issue that I got is that y'all got so mad with Heavenly that you shut down and wanted to make it seem as if the shit she was saying was lies. No, Heavenly was messy as fuck, but everything coming out of her mouth was truth. It was truth. Now, Heavenly, I'm not writing for you because you, like I say all the time, you have to make sure you the right messenger before you try to deliver somebody else's truth. And not to mention, Heavenly, what was really fucked up was the fact that at least Cecil and Simone participated in the exercise. It's very condescending, Heavenly, when you never tell any of your damn business and you try to act like you and Daddy got a perfect relationship, and y'all shit far from damn perfect, okay? You can look at you and y'all and them damn kids of y'all and tell. But on the flip side of things, I actually respect what Heavenly does, and y'all hoes need to take note. It's hard enough trying to stay married than to air all your dirty laundry and let people poke at holes in vulnerable places in your life. Heavenly is real old school in that sense and say, yeah, bitch, we got problems, but I ain't finna talk about them with y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's Heavenly's mentality. And Daddy gave us some insight into that they have issues. Heavenly, you gotta understand though, it's hard to get people to open up to you when you come down like you always perfect and you're not willing to partake in the same exercise. It makes you a moving target. It makes people sit back and get ready to pray for your downfall, or sitting back waiting for you to slip and fall so they can throw daggers at you, so they can make you feel the way you make them feel. And Heavenly, I'm telling you, God forbid a side chick ever call your phone or got Snapchat videos of Daddy dick in the scrubs, or however the hell he do his women on the side. Because nobody is going to feel any sort of sympathy for you if you don't get your act together. I want to say this. I enjoyed every aspect of Mariah Huck on this episode, okay? Mariah is actually very cool when she's being real. That character that she plays, that calculated, let me come say something off-putting because I ain't been filming that much, and if I start a little drama, the attention to be on me, that Mariah I do not like. I don't like it at all. Throwing the daggers, the messiness, the shadiness, the faggotry, the queenness, I don't like that aspect at all. The real, vulnerable, genuine Mariah, I absolutely love. Everything what Mariah did for Jackie, Mariah didn't have to divulge none of her damn business, but it was a way of her connecting with the ladies, and she has been disconnected for so long. I promise you, Mariah, if you stay in that space, and I'm not saying you have to tell all of your business, but just an organic, genuine, sincere place, and you connect with the ladies on a heart level, like, you'll be all right. Like, yeah. And that goes for all of them. Next season, I want all of y'all to drop the sissy act, okay? Drop all the shade. That's where Real Housewives of Atlanta has gone wrong. Them hoes is sitting on ready, waiting to catch the shade and waiting to see who can throw it the quickest. Ruined the whole franchise. Let's get back to our roots with some of this stuff. So shouts out to Mariah for being vulnerable. Stick with me in that space, Mariah, and we'll have it all going on. I'll stop going in on you and your mama, but I'm sure Mariah gonna do something next week to get me back in my negative space. Baby, I knew Heavenly had fucked up all the church's money when Cecil lost it. I'm going to tell you something. I could not believe that Cecil and Simone, when that divorce stuff dropped, the way Cecil blew up in this scene made me realize that there has been some underlying issues behind the scenes that Cecil and Simone just were not sharing with the public, okay? Because that conversation did not warrant that explosion. That explosion had nothing to do with them 25,000, but I will say this. Cecil feels very guilty about what he did with their money. And Cecil, I do think that it was a tit for tat thing. Simone, you emasculated your husband when you went off and bought that Maserati without consulting him, and he got you back by just taking them 25 grand out that account. And I've always wondered the financial dynamics in a marriage where one person makes substantially more money than the other. Simone, now don't get me wrong, Cecil is most likely clocking 6 figures at his job, but Simone has got a, well 6-figure salary with her practice, and then another 6-figure plus income with Married to Medicine. So disproportionately, Simone makes more money than Cecil. And I guess when she bought her car, she felt like, shit, it's my money and we got enough extra, I ain't got to ask. And it made him feel away. It made him feel away. Because he didn't feel like a man when she did it. And he said, bitch, I'm going to show you. And so if you can do it, I can do it too. And this time I'm going to do it with majority your money. Okay? And that's what happened. And nonetheless, it wasn't the right move. People always think revenge and get back, that shit is a temporary fix. It makes you feel good in the moment. It soothes the ego, but aches the soul. Okay? And that question brought Cecil's ass all out of character. And I was like, yeah, it's some hurt and pain going on there. Same thing with Greg and Quad. Greg annoys me sometimes because I feel like sometimes Greg says off the wall things because he thinks it's funny and it's provoking. I think he provokes Quad sometimes with some of these far left things that he says. And don't get me wrong, there's levels of truth to some of it. I think Quad disregards his feelings. What I honestly think is that they just need to fucking get a divorce. Like, it just really don't look like it's no help for that situation. And it's sad. But both of them deserve to be happy. And I think that's the silver lining in the situation. Both of y'all seem to be annoyed as hell with one another. And I'm not one for rooting for somebody tearing up their damn family, but y'all ain't got no kids. So as far as I'm concerned, y'all ass is boyfriend and girlfriend right now. Just go ahead and damn get a divorce and be done with it, because this ain't no way to live. Greg chasing behind Quad. Quad don't want to be touched. Quad trying to be heard. Greg's ego is so in the way because Greg has got to see that Quad is talking about more than the physical act of taking out the damn garbage. And Quad has got to learn how to articulate what she truly feels and to stop being so vague and evasive. Because to Greg's point, when he asked, what exactly could I be doing? Quad, did you ever stop to think that maybe he does not know? And you need to tell him. And if you can't tell him, then you need to articulate that, baby, I can't put words to it. Nonetheless, y'all just go ahead and get a damn divorce. I got a different appreciation for Dr. Damon after watching this episode, and now I better understand his role in Heavenly's life. Heavenly, you fucked up the church's money. Real talk, you was about to get a rat-a-tat-tat on that ass because they all was about to hang your ass out to dry. And your husband had to come in and correct the situation and get it back on track. It's only because Damon is nice, neutral, and they like him that he was able to quell their anxiety and calm everybody down. Because Heavenly, he made a lot of excuses for you. And the reality of the situation is your brand, Heavenly, is shock value. You say shit for shock value, then you hide behind, but it's the truth. Okay? Just because it's the truth don't mean you the right messenger to deliver it. Like I always say, make sure you are the right messenger before you talk about delivering somebody else's truth. And Heavenly, you not the right messenger. In that group of people, her own problems withstanding, Jackie is probably the most qualified person to deliver truths. Because she knows how to put her words together in a way that are helpful and not hurtful. And Heavenly, your truth is hurtful. It's a way that they could have asked those same questions. And maybe you can't be that direct in public when you asking people their personal business. How is Eugene supposed to feel when you telling this man's wife, you know, ask me, are you only with me because of what I can do for you? That makes me feel worthless. It makes me, as Eugene, be like, well, damn, am I not worthy of love? Like, it just, that shit wasn't cool, Heavenly. And I find it prudent when Toya said, sit your ass down and ask questions. Heavenly, in my opinion, you would not subject yourself to the same scrutiny you were willing to put the group through, and I don't think that's cool. Heavenly, you lost so many cool points with me in this episode, and you are not in charge of the girls. Who was in charge of the girls this episode? I think Toya might have been in charge. Is Toya in charge of the girls? Toya is in charge of the girls. And last but not least, that reconciliation scene at the table, that was nice, and I appreciated it. At least it all came full circle and y'all were able to laugh and enjoy a good dinner. But a fucking hurricane came through that bitch because Tornado Heavenly tore up the damn town, and it just was bad juju all over the place. Married to Medicine continues, in my opinion, to be the best reality show this season. Like, episode over episode over episode, they are coming with it. Keep doing what you're doing. Y'all don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that bell button so every time the phone rings, you answer. Don't you know when love calls? Bitch, you better answer. Bye.